Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for clicking on today's video. You can obviously judge by the title of this video that it's not the best news for us. This video that you should be watching should have been a pack with me to Florida video. I literally had filmed it all, edited it, it was literally ready for me to click upload, and then we got bad news. So just a little bit of a recap. So we were due to, well, we originally due to go to Florida back in 2020. We booked it in 2019, booked it for 2020. Obviously, coronavirus hit, it got moved to 2021. It still wasn't okay, so then it got moved again to 2022. We were meant to be flying on the 29th of September, and we were meant to be there for 2 weeks. We were going for horror nights. Everything was sorted. We booked a hotel the night before. We were driving up, to Heathrow, and then catching our flight the next day. And then on Tuesday evening, so that would have been the 27th, just a little bit before that, on the weekend, so around Sunday, I noticed that, I think it was Disney food bloggers or something, had put up something about a hurricane, and I was like, a hurricane? I hadn't heard anything about this. And then as I looked into it, it was saying about Hurricane Ian was due to hit Florida around about the time we were about to fly. So then I was like, right, what does this mean? It's a few days away. Hopefully it's gonna steer off course, which is what they were hoping it was gonna do. And it didn't. So yeah, Tuesday evening, we packed. As I said, I'd filmed my pack with me video. We were all set, literally had my outfit ready for the next day. And we didn't even get told by Virgin. We checked on Virgin's website. I was just checking everything constantly. And Virgin's website announced our flight had been cancelled. Literally listed all of these flights. I think there was Miami flights, Manchester to Florida, Heathrow to Florida, everything. And our flight was in there and it had been cancelled, which was really disheartening because we didn't want our flight to be cancelled, but we hadn't actually been contacted. When we were checking, Virgin had sent out an email previously saying, please make sure your contact details are all up to date and we will let you know about your flight if it is impacted. And we found this out on the website, hadn't been told anything. I tried calling the customer service line, it was closed. It was just not very good at all, really. We were gutted. And then I think it was about 2 hours later, so nearly 11 o'clock at night, we then got an email saying, oh yeah, your flight's been cancelled. Obviously an automatic email that had been sent out to a lot of people. So I cried, as you can imagine. But obviously it's better to be safe than sorry. So we didn't really know what was going on. We were like, what do we do? How bad is this hurricane gonna be? And I follow a few groups, and a few native, like Floridians, were saying, oh, we get this all the time, it'll be fine. Other people saying it's gonna be really bad. Myself and Rich were going back and forward, going, do we get onto the next available flight or do we postpone it? And it was a really hard decision. One was one camp, one was the other. And we went into Virgin the next day. We live close by the Shore and Virgin, like it's part of Next, and you go in there, and I can't recommend them enough. They were so helpful, and they just talked us through everything. They explained the process to us. So anybody that ever gets any flights, if you can't get through customer service, if you do have a desk nearby, go to them, because they would have had information coming from the head office. So it does say when you ring the line that no one else will be able to help you, even the contact centre, you have to wait for a call. We never actually received a call. So whether or not that was because we decided to go ahead and do it ourselves and they got a notification, I don't know. But the customer service lines were rubbish, whereas the in-store staff were amazing. So we went in there and we talked it through. They looked at the new flights. If we wanted to reschedule our flights for a later date, we would have had to have paid money, even though it wasn't our fault. We were just being told that, oh, you know, that it's showing that they're trying to rearrange you. But we actually opted to reschedule. We thought, you know what, we don't know what it's going to be like out there. It's going to be horrific. If there is hotels that are needed for the locals, they will need them. So we don't know what the capacity is going to be like out there. We don't even know if our hotel will still be available. Like, we just don't know. And we also didn't want to, apart from obviously the safety aspect, which was the #1 priority, even if it was you know, fine afterwards. We didn't know what the damage was going to be like on the parks, and we waited so long. We didn't want to sort of go for like a half-assed experience. We wanted to make sure that it was going to be everything we wanted and hoped for all this time. So we did decide to move it. And it is a long way away. I said to Rich, I don't think I can wait till next September. It just feels way too long. And originally when we were looking at booking our holiday, we had 2 months in mind. Well, so either September, October, purely before the Horror Nights. And then the other one that I said that I would probably be quite happy to go to would be May time. It would be Flower and Garden then. The weather would be lovely, and it's out of hurricane season. I think hurricane season is June to November, I believe. So we don't have to worry about this all over again. So we've rebooked for May, and we've actually upgraded ourselves because I think we deserve it for how long we've actually had to wait. So we've upgraded. We were staying off-site before. We're now actually going to be staying on-site. We're going to be staying at All-Star Sports, sorry. We're going to be staying there for 2 weeks. So with us booking, we get the whole dining credit thing. So it was very confusing to me. So the easiest way to break it down is, at the moment, what they're doing is so this is a value resort. So anyone that stays at a value, your dining credit would be $500. So they let us know actually that it's not just on dining, which we weren't aware of. It's on anything Disney, anything in the park. So you can use that $500 for dining or merchandise, and then you get an additional $100 to spend on merchandise. So effectively you get $600. We were weighing this up in our head, so obviously we had to pay more to upgrade, which was just under $1,100, I believe, to upgrade altogether, not each. But we've got $600 towards, well, $500 towards food or merchandise, and then another further $100 towards merchandise. So that's $600 that we would have been spending anyway. At this point, we've already got our spending money all saved. And we're staying on site at Disney. All of your transportation to the Disney parks is free. So you can get that off-site as well, but we didn't actually realise till not long before we were going. We were originally staying at Holiday Inn Lake Buena Vista, that there is free shuttles, but the times of the free shuttles are pretty rubbish. You get that after the park's open, so you're not really going to be gaining much. So we were thinking we're probably just going to have to take Ubers anyway. And if you're unaware, with everything that happened with COVID, a lot of the rental car companies went bust when everything happened. So there's only a few rental car companies out there now, and more are coming in. But because of the effect that everything happened, the prices are bumped up massively, and we also noticed that by vlogs that we've been watching. So Uber's caught on to that, knowing that not everyone's using rental cars, and especially the time of day. One day it could be like a 30-minute journey, could be, say, I don't know, example, $20. The next day, if it's in a busier period, it could then be $60. So it'd be really hard to estimate a good budget because we wouldn't know what it would be from day to day. So the fact that we would have the free transportation to the Disney parks is a massive bonus, and that would be saving us, we reckon, at least around $300. So that's a massive saving. So we've only really, when you put all of that together, we've only really paid out maybe £200 more than what we would have needed to, but we get to stay on site on Disney, so we get to be in that whole Disney bubble that people talk about. So we are very excited for that. So I was actually meant to be doing my makeup while I talk to you, so I'm just going to get started. I'm just going to do a chatty sort of video because we're going out with some friends tonight for dinner, so I thought I'd do my makeup while I talk to you. So yeah, we get to be in the Disney bubble that everyone speaks about, which is really exciting. We're going to be going May 11th till we have a night flight coming back. So it's May 11th, coming back on the 25th of May, but we land in Heathrow on the 26th of May. Our flights are pretty much exactly the same. I think it's like 15 minutes later. So yes, we've got all of that sorted. Our insurance company, this was a bit of a bummer. So if anybody else has been affected from the hurricane and you're still sort of not sure what to do, I know a few flights still haven't gone out yet. Our insurance company, you can only change, we're with Cedar, I think it is. and you can only change it apparently a few times. So we actually had to pay out again, but we managed to get sort of a refund with our current policy, but not a full refund. So it's helped us towards our new policy. But so that was a bit of a bummer. This is the whole stressful thing with your flights being cancelled, then having to move your whole holiday, obviously if you choose to do that. But even with your flights, like I'm seeing a lot of people really struggling, still not knowing what to do. It was a huge impact that no one expected to happen. Obviously it is in hurricane season, but you still don't really expect it to happen to you, if that makes sense, which is really naive for me to think that, I know. But yeah, so check with your insurance companies, but we've managed to get a new one done and upgrade your esters as well. That was one thing that we nearly forgot to do. So just make sure you're updating all of that. We had to cancel our Halloween Horror Nights tickets. We only got a 50% refund on that. So it did impact us. We have lost money, which is really annoying. It was just a massive bummer. Like, obviously people have had their houses flooded. I appreciate that our problem is nowhere near, this is completely insignificant. But these things, I've never gone through like a cancellation before, so I didn't even know what to do. I really didn't know. So the first thing we done was just go straight to Virgin, because I literally was like, what do I do? Do I speak to our insurance company first? Do I speak to Virgin first? Like, what happens if they say they can get us on a new flight? We're going to need to change it. So that's what we done, which seemed to be the better way. We just got a bit more information and then was able to make a decision from there, which then enabled us to sort of know what to sort of lay the path out for us. So yeah, so that's what's happened. It's a major bummer, but it's nowhere near to, you know, what people have been going through. And I said to Rich, I said, because at first, obviously, you know, when things like that happen, you go, oh, we're so unlucky. This is the third time it's been moved. Obviously, but it's all of those three things have been completely out of our control, which almost makes it a little bit worse in a way, because if it was our own fault, you could almost be like, right, okay, well, you know, we've just got to own the fact it was our fault. But the fact it hasn't been any of the three times, you're like, will I actually ever get there? But as I was saying, I said to Rich, you know, you can look at it two ways. We're unlucky, or we're lucky at the fact we weren't going earlier. We were out there during the hurricane, because I would have hated that. I would have been terrified. Our families would have been worried. People's phone lines went down, so people couldn't contact them. I saw just awful things. I saw people not being able to get in touch with their grandparents that were over there on like, who lived on like bottom floor apartments. It was just awful. So we definitely were by no means in a bad situation compared to others. So yeah, we've decided to go to May. We're happy with the decision. We feel like we've made the right decision. I know some people are still, well, quite a lot of people to be fair, are still carrying on with their trip as normal, and absolutely completely get it. But for us, it just wasn't weighing up for, I think, how much money we'd spent, how long we've already waited. Rich was like, come on, we've waited 3 years, what's a few more months? And I went, 7 more months, what's 7 more months? But that was just me just being impatient, not thinking properly, not being realistic, and just wanting to get to Disney, if I'm completely honest. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. I'll pop a few pickies on the screen so you can see what All Star Sports looks like, because it's so cool. It's very much like tacky, but in a good way, in my opinion. I think it's just great. I just think it's over the top. I mean, if you're going to stay at Disney, stay over top, right? One thing that the lady in Virgin said to us, that obviously with their job, she's been able to stay at some of the more luxurious hotels, which look insane. But she actually said that All Star Sports she stayed at, and she said it actually made me feel like I was more at Disney than when she stayed at the Yacht Club and the Grand Floridian. She was like, I just didn't feel like I was in Disney because it was so luxurious. You could have been anywhere. She goes, whereas when you're at All Star Sports or any of the All Star resorts, she goes, because it's everywhere in your face, you know you're there. And I completely get that. And it was funny that she'd said that, because when I've seen some people's vlogs, at some of them I was like, oh, I don't know why I would want to stay there. Obviously it would be amazing, but I would want all the cheesy Disney stuff everywhere. I know some of the more like moderate and luxe resorts do have that, but the ones that don't, I just don't think I would necessarily choose to stay there. I don't know. Obviously, if I was like, if someone said, do you want to stay there, you don't have to pay me, I'd be like, yes please. But I know what she means with the whole Disney feel, just from looking at the pictures. I get why people would think that. So we are very excited. So like I said, I'll pop some pickies on the screen so you can see it. It's really exciting. We never thought we'd be able to stay on site at Disney. We really hoped we were going to be able to, but just financially it never worked out. And then obviously because we had everything saved for, we were able to. So like I said, in that respect we've been lucky. We've actually been able to have a better holiday and upgrade ourselves. And I don't know if anyone would agree with me with this, but I said to Rich, I was like, I know it sounds really strange, but I'm actually quite excited the fact we still have it to look forward to. Like, I know it sounds ridiculous because it's like, well, hang on a minute, you could have been there right now. I know, but we actually still have all of that to look forward to. And it was really weird. I said to him, like, I didn't feel like I'd prepared for it enough in terms of like the clothes I'd bought, and like, it was just silly little things like ears I'd bought. This is gonna sound so stupid, but ears I'd bought were just not right. They just weren't what I thought, and it just felt like things were just going against us a little bit. I had to have an emergency filling a few days before we went, like a temporary one, and you know, you just feel like someone's trying to tell you shouldn't be going. But yeah, so it's still exciting. We've still got all of that to look forward to, and hopefully I can get the reservations I want this time, because we were really struggling to get Ohana. Like, I know it's meant to be a hard one, but oh my god, if anyone could give me any tips, I'd be really grateful, because you better believe I've been up at ridiculous hours trying to get a reservation. And anyone that's tried and has managed it, just please share the tips with me. We want to get breakfast or dinner, but breakfast ideally at around 7:30, which I appreciate everyone wants to get. But as soon as I get, like, I've got the alerts on there, and as soon as I got the alert, by the time I'd logged in to go get it, gone. Every single time. The amount of times that I've seen that Lady in the Tramp, oh pause, you've missed the reservation, I'd be a millionaire. So yeah, if you can let me know, that would be great. And anyone that has had any like reservations that you would highly recommend. The ones that we've just got, we haven't got a ton, just because we didn't want to have too many, because we wanted to be able to not rush around or leave the parks early because, oh, we had to get to this reservation, or, you know. But obviously we want to do a few. So the ones that we had, and I'm just talking Disney and sort of universal speaking, was Ohana we wanted, Be Our Guest we wanted, which I did get, but obviously I had to cancel. We also wanted, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, San Angel, the Mexican area in Epcot, the restaurant. We wanted to try and get that. And then I think in terms of everything else, I mean, I was quite interested in Tusker House, but I've heard mixed reviews, so I don't really know. But again, let me know. And also I keep hearing about Topolino's being nice. But the other ones that we had were off-site, they were at Disney Springs. So we had Boathouse, and then I also done Cheesecake Factory, which I know isn't at Disney Springs, but we had that as well. And we had Margaritaville, so that was kind of what we were doing. Rich wanted to do Bubba Gump as well, because he's never done one. So yeah, if there's any reservations that you think, oh yeah, that would be great. Rich is a guy that likes his night food. He doesn't like the tiny little, you know, when you go to a really fancy restaurant and the portion sizes are like tiny, that would not be up his street. So anything that you think we would like, judging by what we'd already booked and what I will book again, let me know, because I definitely need some sort of ideas. They were just the ones that took my fancy when I'd seen them being vlogged with people. Yeah, but no, we are excited. We're just obviously disheartened that we couldn't get there, but we're happy with the decision. We're happy that, you know, we've played it safe. We felt like we've made the right and responsible decision. But it's just sad that we're not going to get to experience Halloween Horror Nights. So the first thing we did, we've been avoiding all of the spoiler vlogs, and we watched those just because we were like, we're not gonna, it doesn't matter now, we can watch it. So, you know, when you're feeling really sorry for yourself, that was us. We were feeling sorry for ourselves. So we watched those, and they did look really good. But I'm happy with it. I've sort of, it's out of my head now that we're going. I'm like, right, we're going for May. And now I'm like, oh, I'm excited to plan my outfits a bit better, because you always see those cute girls that like literally really thought their outfits through. And I was like, I haven't done that. I haven't done that at all. I want that, which I know sounds really sad. But like, it's not all about outfits, but they do look really nice. And just like getting Mickey ears that are actually correct, ones that I want, and just so that I feel ready, like I've got more time to do that. So yeah, that's where we're currently at. But I've got to admit, I've completely forgotten how to do everything on the My Disney Experience app. Like, you know, at the beginning when you're linking everything, completely forgotten how to do it. So that's going to be like a whole new stress level. I'm going to have to remake, we had an itinerary printed out, so I'm going to have to redo that, but I secretly did enjoy doing that part. So that's not a problem. For me, I'm fine with that. But yeah, but no, anyone that's gone recently and any reservations that you think, oh, you definitely would love that, please let me know. I'm always grateful for any recommendations. Right. So I haven't really said what obviously I've said that we're going up with our friends tonight for dinner. I just want to do like a nice base. And one thing I will tell you about, if you'd seen my Disney makeup, what I was going to wear in a day, I was on the lookout for a few things, and I put this in my Pack With Me video, but obviously I'm not going to upload that now. And a few things I hadn't found at this point, which are amazing, I've got to say, is the Milk Hydro Primer. Now I know everyone talks about this, but I hadn't actually tried it myself. Unreal. It locks it all in, it doesn't move. I've worn this a few times now. As you can see, it's really brand new. I bought it for my holiday. But I've tried it a few times, and a lot goes a long way, and it really does stay put. And then the second thing is the Vive Concealer. Now, in my video, you would have seen that I was like, oh, I don't normally use this concealer. I'm probably going to go back to the Lasting Perfection concealer. But I gave this a go because I was hearing really good things. I got it in light 4, and the coverage, you've seen my skin. I've got like acne prone, I've got scarring. I've worn this earlier on today when we went out for a walk. I wore this instead of foundation and put my bronzer and my powder on, and Rich couldn't tell the difference. Now I've put foundation on tonight just because we are going out. If I do have a glass of wine or two, I know it's going to stay put. But yeah, really, really good. I love it. It's my new fave. And then lastly, I was after a matte lipstick that wasn't going to rub off again for holiday, so all the drinks that we're having and eating and stuff, I wouldn't have to keep topping up all the time. And I got this, it's the Love Me Liquid Lip Colour by MAC, and it's Tres Blaise, I think I'm saying that right. Really nice. I'm popping that on tonight, so you'll see what it looks like, but I just wanted to let you guys know in case I forget to tell you. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a nice base, and then just a little bit on my eyes, nothing too dramatic, and then that's what we're sort of doing. But yeah, so that's the update with Disney, guys. Very sad about it, but it's fine. There's more things to worry about than that. But I did let myself feel sorry for myself for 2 days. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with it. So yeah, we're sticking with, obviously we had 2 weeks off work, but we're just gonna have a week off now. Well, sort of like 10 days. And just do nice, like take Reg for nice walks around where we live. We might go to London for a day and be like a tourist. So yeah, we're just gonna take advantage of the time that we've got off together and just make the most of it, really. But yeah, I've been watching, and I don't know if anyone else has been watching. I still don't really know how I feel about it. Obviously it's horrific, but I do quite like documentaries, but also like series that are based on real life events. So I've been watching the Jeffrey Dahmer series. I didn't know really anything about it. Rich was quite shocked that I didn't know anything about it. Wow. Definitely make sure you don't watch it around any like young people, because yeah, wow, I was really taken back by what's on there. I'm sticking with it, but I just don't know, like I think it's just a bit too twisted for my liking. Like I find myself being a bit like, oh, I can't really watch it. So that's currently what I'm watching. I mean, I'm more looking forward to Emily in Paris coming back. Not gonna lie, that's definitely a bit more of me. But yeah, I've been watching that, so I don't know if anyone else has, but yeah, maybe read up on it first, because I definitely didn't. But we also watched, which was great, was the new Hocus Pocus. I love Hocus Pocus. It's definitely one of my like childhood favourite Halloween films. And it used to scare me, like Billy used to terrify me. I don't know if anyone else did, but yeah, he was definitely scary. But I just found the original Hocus Pocus, like, it was spooky to me. Obviously I know I was a lot younger, so that's probably the reason why. But it was really good, the new one. But you just can't beat the original. But it was really good. Like, I'm so glad that the original witches were back. I did secretly hope that the kids from the original were going to be in it, or make some sort of appearance, or like it would be them having their kids grown up, and like the kids were going to be the ones like in the Black Candle, when like I first heard whispers of a new one being made. But yeah, so I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was really good. Like, it was funny, there was like lovely nods to the old one. But yeah, there was a few things in it that I probably would have changed, and I would have loved for more of the original cast to have been in it. But no, it was really good. It was like real nostalgia, and it was just, yeah, it was a really nice watch. So yeah, I definitely recommend watching that if you haven't already. And then a few horror films that obviously me and Rich are like massive horror fans. I've seen the trailer. I don't know how I feel about it. Is that Smile film that's coming out, or is out already? It looks terrifying. That sort of stuff, that twisted psychological horror really gets to me. Like, it sticks with me. Like, that would be something I'd be like lying in bed thinking about at night. It just really freaks me out, like people staring and smiling at, like, oh, it's just, but in my weird twisted way, I still really want to watch it, if that makes sense. So I would really like to see that. I have said to Rachel, should we go see it at the cinema? So we may go see that. But one we are dying to see is Halloween. So Halloween Ends, which comes out on the 14th of October. So we're gonna go see that probably that weekend, if not opening night, which would be great. So yeah, we're gonna see that. I really wanted to see the Don't Worry Darling with Harry Styles in. I'm hearing like really good reviews on it. Like people saying like it's really, like there's a massive twist at the end or something. But apparently it's really good. So I am intrigued, because it does look very strange from the trailer. Like I couldn't really, I don't know, it would just, I don't know. But yeah, I'm intrigued. But I probably will wait for that one to come on like Netflix or something. It's definitely Rich's cup of tea. But yeah, so that's currently where we're at. I'm just gonna bring you in a bit closer while I do my eyes, just so if you want to have a little nose what I'm doing. So I'm just using, I'm gonna flick between, I think, my Pat McGrath palette and my Vive Muse palette. I couldn't decide on what colours to go for, because I'm wearing this top tonight. And that's why I've got it on, to sort of help me. But I think maybe, because it's actually not orange what I've got on, it's this colour. Excuse the smashed. It's this one here, which is more like, I suppose it's got a little bit of an orangey undertone. See, I don't really know what to do with mine. I don't want too much going on. We have officially booked our wedding. We are getting married in Croatia. If I haven't said this on a previous video, so that's very exciting. We're not getting married until 2024, so we've got a little bit of a way off yet, but as soon as Christmas goes, I can say I'm getting married next year, which is mind-blowing. So yeah, that's going to be quickly approaching. I'm very excited to do wedding dress shopping. Like, that is one of my like big things. But one thing, I don't know if any of you obviously can advise this. If any of you have been married, getting married, a wedding shoe is like a big deal, because I'm tall. I am 5'9". Rich is also tall, but I don't want to wear heels. And like, I'm planning on wearing a long dress. So in my head, I'm like, no one's gonna see them. Like, I'm just not a shoe person, like, at all. But like, you know, when you feel like when you see other people buying like these expensive shoes. Like, I watched someone the other day, and it's not even that expensive considering how much people do spend on them. Like £250. I'm like, I'm not paying £250 for shoes you're not even going to really see. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Is that just me like being a bit weird, or should I be more excited about the whole shoe aspect? Like, I'm just not. Like, I'm just a bit like, I'd rather spend more on my dress than on my shoes. Like, I'd happily wear sandals. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's sort of my vibe, is nice, pretty sandals, like white ones, so that, you know, if they do poke out a little bit. But yeah, like, I just don't get it. Like, it's just not me. Fair play if you are. I'm very much a bag person, so I suppose that's the same, isn't it? But yeah, so we've got all of that book, which is really exciting. The next sort of stages would, I imagine, would be, well, it's getting the invites out, which we're going to plan on doing sort of early Feb, end of Jan, once Christmas is out of the way. And then I imagine photographer, I guess, because I'm hearing that like those things get booked up very quickly. This is all, getting married is a whole new learning path, guys. Like, you just learn so much that you would never, like, I just never knew any of this before. I knew a tiny bit from when my sister got married, but when it's getting married abroad, it's different. It's just so different. And also, I've realised I'm quite a control freak. I like to know what's going on, and my poor like wedding planner, when we wait for the dates to be confirmed, I pretty much emailed her every 2 weeks being like, have you heard anything yet? Have you heard anything yet? Which she hadn't, and she was probably getting really annoyed with me. But I just like to know what's going on. And from other people that have got married abroad, I think they do keep you updated, obviously, if they can update you. But yeah, so I'm just like, I know everyone's like, oh, getting married abroad is so much easier, like you don't have to worry too much. But the only thing that worries me is, I'm like, does that match my personality now that I've thought about this? Like, am I one that would probably wanted to have a bit more control over what was going on? But I think we have made the right decision. Like, that's what we wanted to do anyway, not just because it was easier. We just wanted the whole getting married abroad aspect of it. But yeah, so that's another big life update. Very exciting. Right, I'm back and eyebrows are done. So I'm just going to add a little bit of mascara. But yeah, no, I really hope if any of you guys were affected as well, that you managed to sort it all out. I had read like a few bad things about certain airlines. And it just sounded messy and just not ideal. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to be in that situation. As frustrated as I was with Virgin not telling us like directly and us just finding out ourselves, I couldn't fault the customer service that they provided to us when we went in there. They were great, and it wasn't like we were in their hours either. Like, they were really on the ball with it with us. So I am pleased in that respect. So if any of you did obviously suffer with it, and you have any questions or anything like that in terms of like insurance or what we've done, feel free to like drop some comments down below, and I'll more than happy give any advice that I possibly can. Obviously I'm no expert at that. That was my first time going through it, but I appreciate it's a really stressful situation, especially when money's involved. It just makes everything so much more stressful. Lovely. It's such a nice lip. So that's the lip colour. It's so lovely. It's exactly what I wanted. Like, I don't know if you remember sort of the colour that I was looking for, but this was it. Just something that's like quite nice and bright, but you could wear it either day or evening. And it's really strange, like it always feels like it's a cream lipstick on your lip the whole time. It never feels like it dries out. It transfers a little bit, but nowhere near what a lipstick does, if that makes sense. So like earlier on I had it on and I got a Starbucks and it transferred slightly on the lid, but nowhere near what my normal lipsticks do. But it just stays there. I've gone out for a meal with it and it stays. Like, it is a really good lipstick. So definitely one to think about. I got it at, if anyone goes to Gunwolf Keys, I got it at the White, what's it called? Not the White, the cosmetics store, which is next to the White Company. I got it in there. I think it was, I want to say either 13 or 15 pounds. So it's not too bad. So that is, I think, what I'm going to do for tonight. So nothing too drastic, very sort of soft on the face. I just didn't want it to be too much. I might just go under the bottoms, actually, now I said that, just because I want a little bit of definition. Yeah, but no, I hope you guys are all doing well. I just wanted to obviously give you that update, because I know that in my makeup video I said that, oh, I'm going to be vlogging and I'm going to be doing this and a pack with me. And if you start thinking, where are these vlogs? What's going on? So yeah, that's the situation. But one thing we are lucky with, can you tell that I'm trying to be like, no, we're lucky with this, we're lucky with that, oh, well, you're fortunate with that. I'm trying to be positive about it, because there's no point being negative. There's no point feeling sorry for yourself anymore. Let yourself be sorry for one day and then get over it. Is that all of our sun cream will still be in date? Anyway, that's the end of the video because my light is flashing. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you do have any questions about the makeup, about our trip, or anything like that, please leave a comment down below and I will speak to you guys soon. Thanks, bye.